Hello, it's Mike Matthews, the host of the longest-running self-produced daily podcast on planet Earth by a guy named Mike in the land of Rootabega at the last place on Earth at Café Anyway. It is Mike's Daily Podcast, FF episode 3073, 070. Years ago, I tried to get a job at NPR when I was in Huntsville, Alabama, and, well, they offered me a job, and I was going to get paid the lovely amount, the wage of $0. And then I was going to supply them with all kinds of what we call today content. But it ended up being basically a precursor to the show. And they said they just actually ghosted me. I never got a response. And I said, well, I should thank them because they've inspired me. And I went ahead and I made basically this podcast, what became this podcast and Mike's Daily Podcast, thanks to NPR. But they pulled the plug. The U.S. government, the funding for the Corporation for Public Broadcasting and NPR. The executive order was written and made official. The CPB board shall cease direct funding to NPR and PBS consistent, that's the CPB Corporation for Public Broadcasting, consistent with, and this is from Trump, with my administration's policy to ensure that federal funding does not support biased and partisan news coverage. The Corporation for Public Broadcast Board shall cancel existing direct funding to the maximum extent allowed by law and shall decline to provide future funding. The Corporation for Public Broadcasting Board shall cease direct funding to NPR and PBS. Instructions to other agencies. The heads of all agencies shall identify and terminate to the maximum extent consistent with applicable law any direct or indirect funding of NPR and PBS. So some people believe government should not be engaged in funding domestic political speech from either the left or the right. Both media organizations, PBS and NPR, some people say, will flourish absent taxpayer subsidy. And every other media platform will then be competing on a level playing field with what are presently federal wards of the state and very left-wing wards at that, said Hugh Hewitt, who, as you can probably tell, is a right-wing talk show host. Well, something else that shall affect those that may call Hollywood left-wing is that, according to the Los Angeles Times, looking to boost the production of Hollywood movies in the U.S., Trump this past weekend announced a new 100% tariff applied on films produced overseas. Now, you hear that, and of course you think of, well, when I watch the Academy Awards, which actually I haven't watched the Academy Awards in decades, but when I watch the Academy Awards, let's just say I do, don't they have a foreign movie category? What's going to happen? It's going to cost... Is it going to cost money to show those movies in the U.S.? So who's going to see them? How are they going to get awards? Are they going to just cancel that category altogether? For more than 2 decades, the LA Times says, major studios have shifted movie production to cheaper countries, including Canada, UK, Bulgaria, New Zealand, Australia, and other countries that offer generous tax benefits to build their local economies, luring films away from Hollywood. You can tell specifically, I have found, if you watch anything on the CW, it seems like it's all made in Canada. The migration of high-paying jobs has become a critical issue for LA, and that actually is true. My father was in the movie industry, and I remember him complaining about that back in the 90s when they were starting to really do this. Hey, all these jobs have left Hollywood. And wasn't there a big campaign in Hollywood? Was it last month or the month before where they were talking about keeping jobs in LA? And this has become a critical issue for Los Angeles, says the LA Times, the migration of high-paying jobs. It has seen a dramatic loss in film production, Los Angeles has, and job loss in recent years in LA. So we shall see. LA Times almost sounding like they're pro-Trump with that particular story. Well, we'll discuss all these things and more. And we have some wonderful, just open chatting about these kind of things as we chat together at Café Anyway. Let me get the door for you. Oh, the chatting shall begin. Café Anyway.
It's Mike's Daily Podcast.
Episode 3070 and Mike Matthews. Welcome to Mike's Daily Podcast, a show from Mike's Daily Podcast. Café Anyway, somewhere in Podcaster Valley, the last place on earth, land of Meritopia. I stuttered, and then sometimes things happen to me, and I'm going to mutter about them, but that's okay. I'm going to sing, and then I'm going to say, dang, I should have had something else. That's the end of that song. Mike's Daily Podcast. Whatever else you want to put in there. I didn't have enough guacamole on Cinco de Mayo. I just now realized I should have daily avocado podcast every day. It's full of the good healthy fats, as well as salmon, as well as the whatever else they say is healthy for you with the omega-3s. Let's see, you've got your mackerel, your sardines. Don't forget some nuts, different nuts. I think walnuts. Doesn't macadamia nut, possibly? A lot of nuts have omega-3s that are good for you. And avocado. Okay, I think we covered all our healthy aspects of the podcast today. That's good. And I'm going to now beat up this mouse. No, don't worry, it's not Mickey. It's just this stupid mouse connected to my computer. Here at Café Anyway, somewhere in Podcaster Valley. Did you know plane tickets are getting cheaper? Let's see. Passengers' appetite for domestic trips is coming in lighter than hoped when airlines set the forecasts very high at the beginning of this year. Oh, how things have changed. Reasons. Now, that to me, if you knew, you saw the writing on the wall. Trump was going to be president. You knew that there was going to be some sort of upheaval. He was going to change things. Why would you not expect then that to affect the airline industry, especially with all the tariffs he was saying? Reasons range from whipsawing tariff policies, whipsawing.
And here's today's podcast picture.
That's an interesting word, isn't it? Podcast picture is of a wonderful place near, it's called Shin Pond. It's in the town of Niles. And I used to take the late great Basil the Boxer there. Oh, and I got my newest pet here. Well, we've had him for almost 3 years. Rocky's on my lap now. You can see Rocky on the video, and the late great Basil the Boxer would probably not approve of this. He'd be chasing this cat all over the place, and then the cat would be chasing him. But you can see some video of Rocky the cat. If you go to mikesdailypodcast.com, I post a video of the audio show, of the radio show, as it were. And he just happened to pop up on my lap. But the late great Basil the Boxer, you can see a picture of him in the podcast picture, wherever you go to see this and listen to this podcast. Wherever you listen to it, there will be the podcast picture, basically. And we went to this place in the town of Niles near Fremont, and this picture taken almost exactly 10 years ago today, and see that picture at mikesdailypodcast.com. We had some fantastic hikes, he and I, on our many travels around the Bay Area. Wow, it's like 2015 was just yesterday.
This show is clean.
It is. I haven't cussed yet, have I? I'm not gonna. Don't worry. If there are kids nearby, they should not fret. Or maybe they should feel, this is lame. He's not gonna cuss at all. I'm just not. That's not my thing. It's not in my DNA.
Mike is on it, man. Go where no man has gone before. We love it, Mike.
Did I mention it's FF episode 3070? It is 3070. And yes, people don't want to fly. And it's made even worse now with this whole Real ID thing. People are just not, even though I know a lot of local, especially in the Bay Area, some DMV places are staying open on the weekends to try and process people. I want a passport. I want the passport so I can go see my relatives in Germany and leave the country for going to some place to check out. I think. Maybe not. I don't know. Greenland sounds interesting. Well, nobody really relishes uncertainty when they're taking vacations.
Woo!
Nope, that person wasn't relishing it. My favorite album from 1996, almost 30 years ago, Relish by Joan Osborne. What If God Was One of Us? St. Teresa's on there. I'm Gonna Love You Anyway, Today and Every Day, and a couple other ones. Love that album. Hey, where was I? Oh, so yeah, with all the problems happening with tariff policies, the volatile markets, economic uncertainty, people just don't want to spend the hard-earned dollars with all this uncertainty going on. Delta Airlines, Southwest Airlines, United Airlines, they're cutting back their capacity. That is leading to cheaper plane tickets. Wow.
This is Mike's Podcast Picnic.
Oh, I hope you don't mind with the picnic today. I made a little cucumber salad. I hope you like that. It's very healthy and delicious. Airlines fell 5.3% 2 months ago from a year ago. So it's probably cheaper plane tickets have fallen. Airfare has fallen 5.3%, probably more by this point. Slower than expected growth from corporate travel, which is facing the same challenges many households are. I know a particular person who travels often.
I got into it.
Who gets through it, who gets into it, who travels for his business because he oversees a bunch of different markets in his capacity as he works in this corporation. He's decided to take the month of May off from flying, even though he has to fly to all these different parts of the country. He said, nope, I'm done. If you don't like it, you know what to do. Government travel has plunged too amid the Trump administration's cost cuts and DOGE and the mass layoffs that have happened this year. The good news is that U.S.-based customers are still...
When you are a man, sometimes you wear stretchy pants.
They're still wearing stretchy pants, and they're still flying overseas in droves. Yes, U.S.-based customers are still flying. Well, there you go. There I go, outside of Café Anyway, somewhere in podCastro Valley, the last place on earth, in the land of Ameritopica. Fascinating. California has become the world's fourth largest economy. Did I just hear that right? Yes. In the world, California is the fourth largest economy. The Golden State. Café Anyway is where we are. Golden State is growing faster at 6%. Growing faster than the world's top three economies. This despite looming tariffs that could be threatening the momentum here in California. California has officially become the fourth largest economy in the world, bumping Japan down to fifth. So our GDP reached...
Like they got an area where you can get specialty burgers. They got an area where you can get chicken. They got an area where you can get all this food. And
what?
You've never seen anything like it in your life.
That's all here in California? At Café Anyway? That's amazing. California's GDP reached $4.1 trillion last year, which surpassed Japan's $40.3 trillion. And it now trails only the economy of a country you may have heard of called America. So America's at number one, followed by China, then Germany, then us. Within America itself, California is, within America, it's 51% bigger than Texas, the country's second largest economy. Wow. The population growth, which is now at 40 million, which of course has led to a huge homeless problem, which you are probably well aware of.
People get stuck on stupid, you know what I mean?
Well, the media is stuck on talking about it. It is a thing, and it's horrible, and I don't like it. But it exists here in California. But the tech industry is huge. $1 trillion tech sector in California. Although a lot of tech has left California, manufacturing base employing over 1.1 million workers, and there's record-breaking tourism here, even though they're going to take Alcatraz away from us soon. That is the dumbest idea. Anybody who's been to Alcatraz in the past 10 years, which I think I went there maybe 13 years ago was the last time. It is a tourist trap. It is like, oh, we're going to make Disneyland into the biggest prison in the world has ever known. It'll be a big, beautiful prison.
You will travel into the incredible universe.
And we'll put all our wonderful people there at Disneyland. You might as well have said that, because it is a big tourist trap now. In order to get it fitted to house whoever he wants to house in there, it is going to cost so much. It is not, the rest of the country who's never been to Alcatraz has no concept. It sounds like Trump's never been to Alcatraz. It is so behind. It is not a jail anymore. It has not been a jail for decades upon decades upon decades. Remember when Native Americans tried to take it over? That was pretty cool. I just got finished watching Dark Winds. That was pretty cool. I learned a lot about living on the reservation. Wow. And living in the desert. And there's snow in the desert. Oh, it's pretty interestingly filmed. Although I don't have access to season 3 or 4 yet.
Well, I have a microphone and you don't.
So you will listen to every word I have to say!
Oh, maybe they haven't made 4 yet. Everybody's talking about this Thunderbirds or Thunderclap or what is this? The Thunderbolts. That's it. Thing. Everybody's raving about it. People have gone to see it because they wanted to be dazzled visually. Michael Medved was not a big fan of it. Allergies are hitting us hard here in California. Woo! That's the other thing. So yes, the tourism coming here into California and enjoying our wonderful allergies. Tourists are spending about $150.4 billion. Over $150 billion. Plus, our agriculture industry, as always, is a powerhouse. I didn't realize that till after I left California. I was living in Alabama for a while. I was missing some of the stuff that we have here. And I wanted to take a flying saucer back. Oh, speaking of which, the video I have just pointed out a flying saucer. I have a flying saucer coaster that I got from a place called Flying Saucer that's in Texas. And a lot of Californians moved to Texas and then they went, I want to move back. I know I was in Alabama. I actually enjoyed Alabama. Once I realized somebody did something cruel to me when I lived in Alabama. I lived near Huntsville. They said, hey, Mike, we miss you. We're going to mail you something. They mailed me this huge tin full of California almonds and all kinds of different nuts. They call us California nuts all around the country. But they were delicious. And I'm thinking, I'm not going to be able to find this. Well, I did find it in Alabama eventually. And Alabama's got its other cool fruits and vegetables and things that they grow in Alabama. So it's just, my mom said when it comes to America, you can be happy just about anywhere. But I did miss it. I grew up in California, so it was great coming back. And it's great to know that I'm back on the air in Ventura County on Camera Radio. And I should mention very quickly that they are going to have a big fundraiser since it is a community-funded radio station. And they got a fundraiser concert going on with Jacqueline Schreiber and Tristan Dolce going to be performing. Jacqueline is a jazz pianist and singer, pop fusion, indie rock piano. So I guess a little bit more on the indie rock side. But yeah, she's got some great piano playing and singing and songs. And Tristan Dolce has music from his indie rock release called Medium True. We'll be performing at American Pie Coffee House on Ventura Boulevard in Camarillo, 2211 Ventura Boulevard. And I think maybe once upon a time, eons ago, I played there as well when I was doing my Matt music back when I was known as Matt Michaels. So it's a great thing. It's a fundraiser. It's $20 Thursday, May 22nd at 6 p.m. And you can hear my show on Camera Radio every weekday morning at 5:30 a.m. And find out more at cameraradio.org. Okay, outside of Café Anyway, somewhere in Podcastro Valley, the last place on earth in the land of Ameritopica, look who is outside with me. Hi, Mark! It's Benita the Rodeo Queen! How y'all doing? I brought my horse dinner!
And to Disgruntled Fiddle Player, tell you what.
What?
You know, Trump is just showing the rest of the world you can't mess with America and you can't mess with Texas. Because it's the second biggest economy.
What about California being like the fourth biggest in the world?
Yeah, you know what? That ain't all that in a bag of chips.
A bag of chips? Really? You're going to bring up a bag of chips? We have a couple of companies here in California that make chips, but they make the microchip kind.
No idea what you're talking about.
Okay, look what else is here.
Oh, Mike, I make delicious root beer. Have some right now. Oh, boy.
I would love to. My nose is stuffed. Oh, wow. What's in there?
Some vitamin C type things. Drink it right now. I'll cut you. Oh, boy.
Magnification.
Oh, thank you. That's going to clear me up a lot. Okay, well, next show, it's going to be the wonderful Madame Rootabega, Valentino, and Bison Bentley. You know, we really love being here at Café Anyway, even though we're outside right now, but we have a lot of things here. It's wonderful.
It's like a Walmart-sized convenience store and gas pumps.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
There's probably 150 gas pumps.
Gas pumps.
They're monstrous. They're monstrous.
We have so many.
You go in. They're massive. They're world famous.
That's why we don't want any electric cars, because we got gas pumps. We don't have the charging connector thing, chargers. We have gas pumps. So maybe we invested in the wrong thing here outside of Café Anyway, but I'm not going to get into that now.
Call Mike at the Café Anyway hotline. Area code 510-228-4640.
Hey, what? Oh, it's the end of the show. To find out more about this show, we go to the main frame and hear from A-Frame. Thank you for listening.
Mike's Daily Podcast is written and produced and performed by Mike Matthews. His podcast is super easy to find. Download or listen to his show and read his blog at mikesdailypodcast.com. Email Mike now at mikesdailypodcast@gmail.com. See you tomorrow. Bye.